to another good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Prim and Proper Sports. I am your host, Sonja. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight, January 7th, 2026. Gotta get used to saying that. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope you guys have wrapped up all these holiday celebrations and are ready to get right back at it. Time to be proactive, and I don't believe in resolutions. I just believe in getting everything done. Let me give a special shout out to Brian B. Strella Art, the production behind the team, and none other than Pink Fan Fur, the realest creator out there. My girl, Panther, Reds, Carolina super fan, all that good stuff. Pink Fan Fur on the reels, on the 1 and 2. Now, y'all, this is a very, very special edition of tonight's show. I am incredibly blessed to bring on a special guest. Let me give a little preview here first and foremost. The Carolina Panthers are your NFC South divisional champs, and we are hit to first round wild card event against none other than the LA Rams on this Saturday, January 10th. We're at BOA at the bank, y'all, and the guest tonight that I have on, I feel is directly connected to that success. The emergence of Jalen Coker, number 18, you guys, as a significant contributor to the Carolina Panthers, a record-shattering athlete for the College of the Holy Cross Football Championship at its best talent. Now, no other than my guest tonight can attest to that firsthand knowledge. It is none other than Jalen Pop Coker, Jamal Coker. Welcome to the platform of Prim and Proper Sport.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Thank you for having me. I can't hear you. Hold up. Hear you now?
And there may be a little bit of a lag here. I've been having some technical issues, so I may.
No, I got you. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Oh, we are.
There we go.
Jamal, how are you? I hope you can hear me. And welcome to the show. I'm going to keep talking at some point. Hopefully this lag will kind of
I think
catch up. I don't know what's going on. Guys, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to come back on. Wow, I hate to do that. But
I can hear you, though.
What it is. I'm going to have to come back on another device. There is Sonja. I see you are accompanied by your guest there, your fur baby, none other than Mr. Judd himself.
That is him. He's hanging out with everybody tonight.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me. Yes, how are you doing?
We are doing well. We're ready to go. We fired up.
Doing absolutely. Give me 1 second. Just hop on the stream. Is not want me to be great, and that's just the kind of hate we face all season long. Let's just a little bit about you. We know you're Pop Coker. We know you're that Virginia resident. Tell us a little bit about who Pop Coker is.
Well, how much time you got? No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just, I am originally from South Carolina. I joined the military and I was 21. So I got stationed up in Virginia and, ended up having 3 beautiful kids and, just ended up staying. It's a beautiful place and, get to travel back home every once in a while. Used to play football back in the day. So, I mean, a little bit. But I had a couple of records back then, so they're definitely broken now. But a little athlete, did a little track back in the day. So
y'all, I'm going to leave this one. All right.
I can see. You got a whole thing.
Okay, all right, we all good now, right?
I hear you. I see you now. We are good.
I tell you, greatness just does not care, and I don't have a backdrop or anything on here, so everybody gets to see my little studio I have going, which I really don't care for.
That's all right.
But we are here. Let me make sure. Hang on. Did I just take myself off? All right. Can you still see me?
I cannot see you. I can
Okay,
see
I
me.
pressed the wrong button. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh God. B, I need you to help me, please. I'm so sorry. Something's going on. I think I pressed. All right. What about now?
Got you.
Okay, perfect. I'm so sorry, everybody. Anytime I have the very most important guest, that's when stuff just goes awry.
It's
And
all good.
yes, and I just appreciate. I mean, technical difficulties, but nonetheless,
No.
that's kind of been our season. But first of all, Jamal, thank you so much for your service. I did not realize you had South Carolina ties. That makes it
Mhm.
even more nostalgic that your son Jalen is now playing for the Carolina Panthers, who are the team of the Carolinas.
Yes.
Let's back that up just a little bit. Jalen
Okay.
is very well accomplished. How excited were you when he was drafted by the Panthers?
Oh, very excited. I mean, I think even on my Instagram, on my Instagram, I think I have me picking Jalen up, and putting him on my shoulder, and I was just so excited. All the family and friends that came over to, celebrate, the coaches, everybody just, just coming up from down south, from north, east, and west, just to come and celebrate. It was a great experience, and it's a roller coaster of an experience, but at the end of it, it was worth it, and it was great. It was a great experience.
Yeah, and I like to just tell everyone. I mean, that moment is so surreal. I can only imagine. It's a moment that is literally for a lifetime. You never forget that thrill when you hear his name called, when you receive the phone call from the Panthers, um, and just to watch how explosive he is from the very jump. I mean, a lot of players they excel in high school and college, and when they get to the NFL, there's an acclimation period. I always tell people that it's probably almost hashtag because I say it so much. There's,
Right.
you could be a Heisman Trophy winner, but you could come to the NFL and you're with the greatest of the great at this time. No one's competing anymore because everyone's on the same level of greatness, and so you have to be at your very best. The emergence of Jalen was just a significant contribution to our Panthers. I mean, we've seen where we are now. First time in 10 years, a whole decade
In a
since
minute.
graced the NFC platform in the playoffs, hosted this wild card game on Saturday. None other than the Rams, who we just played about 3 weeks ago at at the bank, and they're
Right.
coming back to the bank. And I'm excited. I'm excited, Jamal. I feel like we have everything we need. It's already been proven. And the major weapon, this is a Jalen Coker centered show tonight because I'm so grateful that you joined me on tonight. I know I was having a little technical difficulties earlier, and I was trying to express my gratitude, but
No.
very extremely grateful, and I appreciate your time as well. Um,
No,
so
I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah, yeah. So of course, Jalen started out at Potomac Falls High School under Coach Barnes, where his exceptional leadership was already recognized, playing on both sides of the ball, putting up stellar numbers there. And then when he got to high school, some of these numbers are already adult-like. I'm sure you are aware just from watching from the stands. 89 receptions for over 1,600 yards and 18 touchdowns on offense alone as a high school athlete. Jalen
Balling.
Jalen was explosive. I mean, Jamal, how was it? Because when you're a parent and you're in the stands, everyone's cheering on their kid. But to know in your heart, no, my kid really has something special. When did it first strike you? How old was Jalen when it first hit you that, wait a minute, my kid is not just playing ball with Pop Warner or everyone else out there. My kid is going to make history one day.
Oh, geez, probably earlier. It was definitely earlier in high school. I'm talking probably, the ankle biters. We're talking about 5, 6 year old doing things out there that 8 and 9 year olds weren't doing. So I mean, he's just he's a different kind of kid. He's very humble, down to earth. Just wants that opportunity. So whenever he got that chance, he just took it and just ran with it. So, but watching him, I mean, just like whenever you're in the stands and you're cheering your son on or your daughter on or whatever, you know, you just want them to do good. and are well, and so whenever he was just out there on the field, it was almost like if he didn't make a play, you were kind of like disappointed. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like every game, you would see something happen, either on offense or defense, that would be like, I would have other people coming up to us, and saying like, "Hey, your son, he's going to make it. He's going to do it." And we're just like, "Okay, we're hoping so. That's the plan is so." But he was he's honed his craft. He's worked on it. He's grinded, and I'm just happy for him to receive all the accolades that he's getting right now. So I'm just happy for him, to be honest.
And I like that. And let me give some shout outs here to some audience members tuning in. Thank you so much for Mike Patton, a colleague on another network. Thank you so much for joining us. Pink Fanfur, thanks for the love. And she thanks you for your service. Pop Coker, she's a service lady, retired herself.
Sure.
Very decorated as well. Pink is highly, just a highly knowledgeable and decorated person as well. So from one military to the other, she's extended her appreciation to you. Marcus Gales, my brother. Oh, hi, Marcus. Wow, I didn't even know Marcus was on. He's the most busiest person I know in the world at work. Thank you so much for coming on. Marcus, I love you, bro. Thank you. What's up, Kata? You probably know Kata, Pop Coker. He's the Mad Kata from the
Of
Carolina
course,
Panthers.
of
Yeah.
course.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
joining.
I'm through the BOA every once in a while, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I try to tap in with everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. So I like how you said that Jalen is humble. He's so humble, but I think this may have even gone over his head. He still holds the school record for Potomac Falls for most. He's actually had the most, a lot of records here. Holds the school record for the most interceptions in a single season.
Mhm.
Also the most. So yes, guys, he played on both sides of the ball. So watch out. That's why he's such a weapon. He also holds the most record for career interceptions and in one single season. And his defensive background is a critical component of how exceptionally well he plays on the offense. He's able to read the defense, unlike a lot of offensive men.
There
I
you go.
mean, Jamal, that is literally an intellectual genius. I had an opportunity a few months back to look into, players, because we as fans could be like, oh, why could they do that?
Hmm.
There is a certain amount of intelligence that players have to have beyond just the athletic ability. They have to be able to memorize these plays, know them, know the maneuvers, and know what they are and recognize them and apply them. And I have a new appreciation because a lot of everyone knows I'm in law school, and I literally thought of it the same way. It takes a special person that has to have an analytical mind and the physical ability to meet the demands of an NFL player, of a doctor, of a lawyer, because it's not all about what you see, it's how you can apply it in every unique situation. So I just see such a greatness in him, and to be so humble. You can see he's humble. I've seen the interactions that he has. He's does not always gravitate to the camera. I've seen a lot of stuff. He's always like, I'm cool being in the background. That's the
Right.
perception I've been getting. And so was it hard for him to accept, his literal just thrust into the limelight? I mean, the Panthers, when he was drafted, were within the top 5 draft picks. I mean, the previous season had won 5 games before Coker arrived. The year before that, only 2 games, still with the maturation and acclimation of Bryce Young. And this was the third year, a year that, a lot of fans didn't know if Bryce would be that franchise quarterback or not. And in fact, they are rumors that they will be, using the 5th year option on him to try to decide because he has made great strides, but he's made great strides because of the weapons around him. And that number one would be Jamal Coker, Jalen Coker, excuse me,
No,
Jamal's son.
no, I got you. There's a lot of J's. No, I got you.
Yes. What's up, Bo? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Bo Crouch, Football Talk with Bo. Thank you so much. So how was that for him to accept that? And I mean, because you're around him beyond the cameras, beyond the field. What's it like? And I know he's really busy, preparing. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him another time. Please extend my appreciation to him for who he is and for lending his dad to us tonight.
Definitely.
And, and let him know that we absolutely love him and we love your family. You all have, embraced the Carolina culture, the highs and the lows. It's not like we went through this season undefeated.
Right.
And the rain, all things like that. You and I personally met in New Orleans at a sweep by the Saints, who
Right.
are who are at home right now, nonetheless.
Hmm.
But had they started, their quarterback a little bit earlier, we may be looking at a whole nother scenario.
Right.
But for Jaden, so how is he, beyond all this press and this the field? I could guess basically say.
I mean, he's been in front of the camera before, so I mean, it's like he's not, shy or anything like that. But he's definitely one that he wants to just show what he can do on the football field,
Mm-hmm.
and just let his work on the football field speak for him, and he's been ready for it. He's been doing this since, Holy Cross, since he was, going up against three people, coming down with the football in the end zone from a 50-yard bomb from Sluka, so a lot of people, I, he's just a good kid, and he just doesn't worry about all the other stuff. And I think that's kind of the thing with him. And I think that's what keeps him so grounded is he doesn't get kind of caught up with, all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he doesn't want to be flashy or nothing like that. He just wants to go out there and do his job, and he wants the opportunity to do his job, and he knows whenever the ball comes to his way, it's his job to get the ball and do whatever he can with it to help out his teammates, and he's not looking for like the records or the stats or anything like that. I honestly, I don't even know if he knows the stats that you're kind of just reading off just now. I don't even think he knows some of those stats because he just goes out there and just and just balls. He just goes out there and just every week he just goes out there and just says we're just out there to stack wins. So he just wants to go out there and compete and just show what he can do on the football field when given the opportunity to do that. So he just wants to play football.
Yeah, that's what the difference is. When you are still having fun, it's kind of like the adage: if you are enjoying what you do career wise, then you're not working. You're fulfilling your passion, and I think
Exactly.
that's the difference maker. The calm that this team needed, the calm that Bryce needed as a right hand, he needed the calm in the storm. I've seen games where the tempo was slowed because there was a calmness over Bryce that we have not seen before
Right.
Cooper, arrived. And it's all about these people who are around you.
Right.
And he's grounded them. I saw how in the Rams game that the Panthers ate up 13 minutes in the third quarter. That was the difference maker. 13 minutes out of a 15-minute quarter, you gave the offense of the other team no chance to get on the field. And
Right.
that's the best way to win a game is to keep the offense off the field.
I agree.
And for him to be able to slow down the Rams, who at that time were extremely offensively dominant, I just saw, I was watching from home, but I could literally see the calmness. And I was like, this team is strategic. This team is determined and this team is grounded and planted. And I felt like all of that comes from what everything is around you. What's up, nephew? Gorilla Fitness. That's my guy there. That is Malik, my nephew, my trainer. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, nephew. Got everybody. Thank y'all. Thank you. So to know that has to come from dad. That has to come from dad, because you played ball, you instill that, and some of it's genetics. They say moms
Well,
give the baby so much, but a lot of the maternal things that moms give is the opposite with paternals. They get,
right.
their athleticism. They also get their calm. Guys just overall are just generally calmer. Um, what was the first reaction when the Falcons did what they needed to do and took care of the Saints, and it was prominent in your mind, like, oh my God, the Panthers are going to the playoffs.
It was pretty much just like that, and I was watching the game, and we were on pins and needles just to see what was going to happen. Unfortunately, just I
Yeah.
was talking with your producer Brian, but like we were like saying that you don't want to kind of back into the playoffs or anything like that, but if you're in there, you're in there.
Yeah.
And but it's what you do once you're in there. So we have that opportunity. So now, what are we going to do with it? So and like you said, we have so many
Mm-hmm.
weapons on offense, and and not even just thinking about the passing game. I mean, the running games. We got two, amazing backs back there, and
Absolutely.
so it's like I think if we just, run that, and it's so funny too because one thing always complements the other. You start the run, then they start getting down into the box to stop the run, and then next you start passing over the top. That starts opening the field up. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I remember that. Rams game. I was out there in the rain. It was cold. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
like that again. But the rain meant nothing to me after that win.
Yeah.
And here and keep pounding, going through the halls of Bank of America is nice. It's a nice sound. I like to hear that sound. So I like to hear that sound again on Saturday. So I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I'm
It's
excited.
it's definitely an amazing time. I mean, I'm exhilarated. I'm gonna be honest with you. You got the plug by you being Jalen's dad because those tickets are outrageous. And with me traveling from Atlanta, I'm sitting here like, okay, I used to be a PSL owner, and I'm like, dog, the 1 year I'm not.
Right,
Now
right.
I need my seat. What's up,
Hmm.
Brad? Yeah, let's
They are
after.
out there. They are up there. Yeah, I know. I saw a few of them. Just perusing on Ticketmaster and
Perusing.
stuff. So I mean, yeah, some of them are ridiculous. But I mean, eh, but why not? Right
Yeah,
now, I mean, get in there. But I understand it. I understand it's an exciting time, and like you said, 10 years.
10 years.
There's gonna be some familiar faces, hopefully gracing us.
Yes,
So
yes.
that should be exciting as well. Because like I said, being a Carolina Panther fan, back then, like you see some of the jerseys, like
Yes.
Steve Smith, and but Cam, man, like before 18 showed up, Cam was my man. You know,
Yes, yes, I
and
got you.
so right now I had to retire. I had to retire Cam. I had to put
Oh,
18 is going to be the only number I wear
that's
as
right.
long as he's a Panther. But
That's
I
right,
love
Dad.
Cam though. Cam's my man though, and I mean I just to see him come back on the field just one more time, even just to beat the drum, is going to get my heart beating. It's going to be crazy. I hope we can suit him up just real quick just to see get him one play or
Okay,
two.
like, don't you got your jersey, bro? We get you your own. We get you your own uniform, the whole uniform. Doing this is big. That's the
It's
last
crazy.
time. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Jamal. I got really emotional when I realized we won the South because I realized what it was like. And during that time, I was at a lot of the games, like
Uh huh.
that undefeated season. Oh,
Oh
I was in Tennessee when they
yeah,
played the Titans.
yeah.
I was everywhere with that team, and to think about, where we are now, and of course I was at both of the Atlanta games, but to think
Mhm.
of where we are now, when I realized, I literally put a post up thanking the Falcons. I was like, listen, not like we really owe y'all for real, because we just put some insurance on in case things got crazy.
Exactly. That's
And
right.
we made sure that policy, was paid out when it came due. So thank you, Falcons, for paying the policy,
Pretty much.
paying the beneficiaries. And
Hmm.
so, that's how I kind of looked at it. But I mean, it was just so crazy at the end. Never in NFL history has a division been decided by the two lower seeds in a division as to who would win between the two upper seeds. And then you have technically a three-way tie, but for the sweep against Atlanta, we all would have been, I don't know how they would have solved that.
A tie a play. I don't play in game. I don't even know.
How? It's three. It's not even an even number. It's
I,
like two
paper
play
rock,
and the winner is.
scissors. I guess.
Yes, so but you're right though. I'm excited because Cam's coming back. He's gonna be beating the drum. Luke
Mhm.
Kuechly's supposed to be there. Greg Olsen, Trey Boston, Jonathan Stewart. I mean, a lot of that 2015 season is
Everybody should
going
pull
to
up.
be in the house. And I mean, I've seen a lot of their social media postings, and this is the thing.
Hmm.
Cam was very silent for a while. The fans had begged all week, we want Cam, and it just became a movement.
It's
And here he is.
Hey, and I love it, and I love it, and it's going to be even more amazing when we pull off this dub. And I mean, Can we run on the field on Baker? Is that still like a
On the
thing, or is that
field.
just college, or is that what? Can you
Look,
do
I
that? I don't
think
even know.
they'll probably let any of the players and their families do it. And
Oh
I mean, if anybody could jump over at that point, 10 years, I mean, I don't know how they're gonna react, but I will say this. It's gonna be wild. I'm sure Charlotte is absolutely lit. I know that the Coker family is all excited. Congratulations to y'all. I mean, kudos for raising an amazing young man. And and clearly the future of the Panthers. I hope that they will be intelligent enough to keep him, because he is definitely a difference maker. That's right, Marcus. Hopefully, the Panthers will be on their A game. We have to be. We cannot sit back and think that the Rams are not going to be trying to get retribution.
no, I think they're locked in. I
Yeah.
mean, I even just like I was talking to Galen.
Hmm.
We chopped it up a little bit. He says they're locked in. He said they're ready to go. So they just gotta go out there and just produce and perform and just and do what they know they can do, which is win, especially at home too. We like winning at home.
Right, right. Like that's home. Like
Hmm.
you protect your, you
Your
know,
house. You
you
gotta protect your
protect your
house.
house, your place. They always want to say Rams house. No, sir. No,
Hmm.
sir. This is the Panthers house. And that's right, David. Time to turn up. No matter how we got in, we're in.
That's right.
And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's one of those things like no matter how you got to something, you're there. And now
Exactly.
it's just up to you to perform, to win, to get it done, and all that good stuff. um and it's just a blessing to be there. I'm just praying that the weather holds up. It's supposed to be a little unseasonably warm in the south.
Is
So
it? I thought it was going to be cold and rainy again.
y'all are getting cold and rain in Charlotte. So in Atlanta, it's supposed to be in the 60s still,
Oh, okay.
possibly 70, and it's been overcast but no rain. But that's that mysterious weather though, Jamal.
That
It,
is
it,
true.
it showed up with the Seattle game. It's almost like the NFC West teams are bringing that kind of crap over to Charlotte.
I believe you're right. I think you're right.
They're
And
trying to
I've been
bring
to
the
Seattle
elements
too, and
with
it's
it.
like that.
Yeah, they're trying to bring all the help they can get. We've seen some real wild stuff. Pittsburgh had a priest out there throwing holy water in the end zone. I don't know what kind of tricks the Panthers have gotten, lined up. I mean, we know that a lot of the players are praying, they're Christians, and at the end of the day, it's going to come down to their true talent. It's going to come down to what they're prepared for. We know Jalen is locked in even at this very moment. He's had a lot of benchmarks. There literally is. I was looking through my notes for him,
Hmm.
about the combine, his drill, his measurements. I mean, he just is outstanding. 40-yard dash, 4.57 seconds. He is lightning fast. 10-yard split, 1.52 seconds. Just a lot of stuff that he has, for his position. And
Hmm.
then it's the part that we identified earlier, that he's defensively inclined as well. And a lot of people don't know that. He
Right.
keeps that as a tucked weapon, kind of on a need to know basis. And it's been super beneficial, all across the field.
Yeah, and I mean, even when he was in high school and he was playing defensive back and wide receiver, I mean, he even played a little quarterback one game. I think I
Wow.
think he threw for, I don't know if he threw for a touchdown that game, but I know he had the quarterback out there. He had a nice couple of runs. The same game, I think he quarterbacked and then he played defensive back and he played wide receiver, I believe, in
Oh
that
my
same
God.
game. So, I mean, he's all over the field, and I think that's kind of why he can, see what the defense is about to do because he's played defense. And then I guess he in his mind he's like, what would I do to cover me? So you know what I'm saying? So I think he has a little bit of edge right there. Um, but I'm really excited to see how many more opportunities he gets throughout the game.
Right.
I know his percentage of targets has been going up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hoping it goes up even more. I want him to, I was a wide receiver and I played in high school and I
Yes.
wanted the ball all the time. So, and I know Tet wants it as well, so I know Jimmy, that's another thing too, is like Jimmy, I know he needs the ball too. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? He's too fast and too good of a player to not get some touches as well. So I feel like if we can just spread the ball a little bit to these receivers and just let them do what they do. And Ted's going to be good for a big one down the field. Jalen's going to get you, that 4th and 10 or
Yeah,
fourth and
he
five
is.
when needed, and get a tutty in there as well. And then with Rico and Cuba out there running the ball, I mean, how can you, when you look at this on paper, really, when I'm looking at it and I'm reading it, I'm thinking to myself, how can you stop this?
Right, right.
Like, you
The
got Rico
weapons are
Dowdle and Cuba. I mean, the offensive weapons, Bryce is out there just slinging it.
there.
Like, I mean, why not? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's what I'm thinking to myself. Why not? So, and I think once everybody on the team figures out, hey, why not too? And then they
Mm-hmm.
just go out there and just play. I think it's going to be wraps for a lot of teams. I think we can go pretty far if we start clicking the way we need to. I think we're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, they need to bring Pop Coker in as team consultant on some of that, the little hypeness and get them, because the paper is real. The
It
paper is
is.
real.
It
I mean,
is.
you talked about T Mac and all the other Rico Dowdle. Thank you, Dallas. Every time I think of Rico, I'm like, thank you, Dallas. That was the biggest gift they could have given us. We appreciate it. Horn, of course.
Yeah.
But then look at the physicality of that unit overall. That's why I was saying Bryce having these guys around him has been the difference maker.
Right.
When Bryce came in, a lot of people try to give us slack about his size, his height, et cetera, et cetera. Bryce is using that height to his advantage. He has been able to scramble some tackles that a 6'5" quarterback would not be able to, because he's figured out how to duck and go underneath and get those first downs. And
Right.
like you said, he's got the two weapons. We're gonna call them weapon receivers. They're not wide receivers, they're weapon receivers.
Like,
T
I like
Mac
that.
and Jalen Coker, yes. And
I
so
like that.
even though it's so much ball to spread around, and that's why the touches are what they were the last game. I didn't see Coker get targeted as much. That's because Rico was trying to get his contract satisfied. He got his touches, he got his million. Kudos to him. Now, Bryce, we need you to make sure you remember who leaped over somebody that was 6 foot head to get that first down for you, and that's none other than Jalen Coker, and got it done. A lot of crucial calls, Jamal, that are in all games with all teams. Of course, us
Mhm.
as Panther fans, we're gonna be like, hey, we saw it in person. You and I both were at the New Orleans game in person, saw
Mhm.
it before the TV even realized it was some issues going on, and
Right.
and we see it again just most recently in the game against Tampa Bay. The
Right.
narrative, and I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but as a, not necessarily as the parent of a player, but just as a fan, some of the play calling, by either the coaching staff that may have been caught not challenging something or not knowing of a challenge. How ready are you? It was revealed on yesterday that one of the officiants, the last time he officiated a Panthers game was week 17 of the Falcons game, but he wasn't the head officiant, but he was one of the head officiants for Super Bowl 50 when the Panthers played Denver. So that was the last big game we saw him. How
Mhm.
confident are you that this time, with all the, because I'm sure you've seen on social media the myriad of posts and people complaining, even
Oh yeah.
non-Panther fans. You
Oh yeah.
know, how confident are you that that the officiating this weekend will be more fair? Hi, Rochelle. And
50-50. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that, I'm just hoping that they call a fair game, and that's all you want in football. That's all you want in just in life, just to be fair. Um, you don't want to be cheated, you know. I don't know. I can't really, attest to the play calls or why they're challenge or anything like that. I'm not on the field at that point in time, so those are the coaches doing coaching thing. I try
mhm.
look. I tried coaching like I coached Jalen when he was a like an ankle biter. Maybe he no, what he was maybe like 10 years old. So I coached him a couple of times in football, and I was the coach, and then I coached him in basketball as well.
Oh, okay. Yes, he is a
Yeah,
little
so
guy.
I've been around for a little bit. I did a little bit of coaching, and I know the little bit of coaching that I did that I didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh,
Be-
wow.
because it is so stressful. You're trying to, manage this person or manage that person. You're trying to focus on the game. You're trying to it's tough. Coaching is tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's why some coaches, I think, whenever they start coaching, they look, 21, and then, after year 3 they look 45. So it's tough. So I mean, if you the coach is going to coach, and I let them do that. My job is to do anything that I can to help Jalen prepare for getting on the field. Whether that's, a text, a phone call saying, "Hey, I love you," good luck, or just when he sees me on the field, just give him the peace sign, a salute, and
Yeah.
we locked in. So I let the coaches coach, and then all I try to do is pop, and it's working out for me. So I'm hoping that the officials, just do what they're paid to do, and just coach the game, and, ref the game fairly, and just because I guess you can't really just go into it thinking, what are the refs going to do? What are the refs going to do?
Hmm.
You just got to go into it thinking that the refs going to ref the game fairly. And if you do see a bad call, hopefully you can catch it quick enough so then that you can make something happen, or at least put it on the record, so then that we can stack some of these bad calls together, so then that maybe we have to remove somebody from an officiating
Hmm.
spot possibly. But that's all you want. You know what I'm saying? You just want a fair game, and I'm hoping that's what happens on Saturday. I mean, I don't know where the refs. Is that the is? I'm trying to think of. I saw that one ref. I can't remember
Yeah.
who the other refs is going to be too.
Yeah, they
So
haven't. Yeah, they've been keeping. After all the ruckus around it, they're
I
probably like,
figured to keep it
listen.
quiet.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna they're gonna draw cast lots like they in the Bible before they come out there. Cast
they're
lots.
not gonna they're not gonna pull them out until game time. This is gonna game. They're game time decisions for real.
Literally, they're gonna be like on standby as who gets the phone call. That's
Exactly.
that's so funnily.
But
That's right. That's right, Marcus. And I know you gotta run here shortly.
yeah.
Jamal, and we really
Yes.
appreciate you coming on. I wanted to close out by talking about the resilience of Coker in his rookie year, overcoming this hamstring and quad strain injury. He
Hmm.
battled back from that, being on a PUP list,
Hmm.
including being waived in one of the initial roster cuts. And
Right.
they were smart enough to resign him to the
Hmm.
practice squad, and then he was promoted September 24 now, because this is now 25. How hard was that, or how determined, I guess I should say, was he to? Because it seems like, okay, some people go straight through with success, and you never see the ebbs and the flows. You just see all
Right.
the mountains, no
Yeah.
valley.
Exactly.
How was his demeanor, and did he still have this demeanor like, what, I'm gonna bounce back, I'm gonna be fine? Or were you just, at a guy, you got this, this is what you are here to do, and we're gonna do this together? How was that?
It was more probably tough on for me, because I was thinking of it as, what I was like, man, why,
Mm-hmm.
why him, he's doing everything right. He's just trying to, do his job, be on the team, and just contribute.
Right.
So I was more upset, because I was like, ugh. But for him, he was like, of course upset. Nobody wants to get hurt, but he knew that, hey, I just got to get stronger. I gotta
Right.
get, I guess, I gotta heal it. I gotta, get the treatment that I need, see any specialists that I need, and just rehab it and just get back on the field. So he had Jalen and I are very alike but very different.
Okay. Okay.
And but because we just have two different kind of like minds sometimes, and and he was thinking about it one way and I was thinking about it the other way, but he was very positive about it. He was like, hey, things happen. It's football. You're going to
Hmm.
get hurt, and as long as you just try to focus, uh, get back your health, get back healthy, and just get back on the field. That's all you really can do, and that's what he did. And there was no um, if, ands, or buts about it. He's like, you know what, I just got to rehab.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to get it done, and he got it done, and now it's paying off. And I just don't ever want him to get hurt again. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I'm praying for him, and it's
Right.
hard to being a parent and a fan too, because I'm out here, I'm cheering. I'm like, yo, throw it to him, all the time, or keep
Mm-hmm.
running, whatever. But then, like, of course, I don't know if you can see the picture. I got the picture in the back over here.
Yeah, I see it.
So, so I like the lean, but there's another one's going to be coming with the jump. That's the one I was wanted to do.
Oh, that's the
So
one. Yes,
yeah,
that's
the
got a big
Atlanta.
hole
So
frame.
yeah, so I'm in New Orleans. So no, that was in New Orleans. So yeah, the jump over it. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, Jalen, please, like,
Mm-hmm.
don't do it.
Yeah,
But
you've seen it.
but
Mm-hmm.
that's what he is, though. He's just a competitor. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I need the first down. I see this guy, he's ducking low. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna keep on doing what I gotta do. So I mean, even with coming off an injury and with all that stuff, once he got healed, he knew he was good to go. So he's just going out there and competing and just giving it his all. He's like, I'll bang my body up and then I'll just heal later and then get right back to it. So he's a competitor, and to fight through an injury like that and to get back on the field and just try to help out his team as best as he can is it's pretty awesome thing to see. He's got a lot of grit, and I'm so proud of him for that.
This is so awesome, Jamal. And hello, Steve-O. As we wrap up here, and thank you so much for your time
No
tonight,
problem.
Jamal. Week 13 versus the Rams, season high 74 receiving yards and a touchdown and a 31-28 victory. Look for a repeat of that, y'all. Give you
Let's
a
do
little.
it.
And week 15 against the Saints, 4 receptions, 60 yards, and a 32-yard touchdown catch. Just magical. And then in week 18, that we just wrapped up against the Buccaneers, led the team in targets, 7 targets and 6 receptions, totaling 47 yards. And the sole touchdown that the Panthers had gotten in that game came from none other than Jalen Coker.
Yes.
Finished the season right now in the regular season with 33 catches for 394 yards and 3 touchdowns in 11 games. Big numbers. One of the top wide receivers that we see in the league right now. And we just thank you for being his dad and creating him and lending him the greatness of him to
I
us in the
appreciate
football
it.
world, and of course with the Carolina Panthers. Thank you so much for joining me again, Jamal. You'll have to come on again when you and Jalen are available so I can really find out if he's, as resilient, different as you say he is with you.
Definitely,
Because
definitely,
we've seen, we get the glimpses, but we don't really, see. But Dad, you witnessed.
definitely,
And
definitely.
we definitely wish Judd a good recovery as well. And we will catch you in the stands on Saturday. And we
I,
wish New Year's
Ye-
blessings to you and your family.
yes, definitely. If you see him in the stands, come say hey. I'm always up and about. So, hey, keep pounding.
Absolutely. Keep pounding. Jamal Coker, everyone. Jalen Coker's dad. Thank you so much and have a blessed night to you.
Thank you,
We'll
guys. You have
talk
a good
soon.
one. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye bye. All right, guys. So you heard it here first, none other than Jamal Coker, dad of Jalen Coker. And just a privilege to have him on tonight. Just a blessing. Let me see what's got. I thought B was going to move you. B, he can go backstage now.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Come on, big guy.
Uh, okay, I'll do it. All right, guys. So that was Jamal Coker, everyone. That was Jalen Coker's dad. I'm having some technical difficulties, so that's why y'all see my whole backdrop is off tonight. My whole thing. But anyway, everything would be aloof, as they say, when you're talking about greatness. And of course, the hype in Charlotte is the Carolina Panthers, my Panthers, going to the NFC playoffs against the LA Rams on this Saturday. Um, I'm trying to get to y'all. But if not, I will be cheering from Atlanta. But I know the city is on fire. Let's talk about a little bit of other NFL news before I go. A lot of firings over the last couple of days. What was the biggest shock to you? Well, to me, it was none other than Coach Harbaugh of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, of course, there was a lot of friction apparently about 3 or 4 weeks ago between Lamar and Harbaugh, including Lamar not showing up for practices, et cetera, et cetera. And I think people really underestimate the power of the quarterback. We saw it with Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy in Green Bay, where McCarthy actually lost his job on Aaron Rodgers' birthday. And lo and behold, today is Lamar Jackson's birthday. And yesterday, uh, Harbaugh was fired. I mean, coincidence or not. Then we also saw Cliff Kingsbury step down as offensive coordinator, saying he's pursuing other things. The defensive coordinator as well from Washington has been relieved of his duties. Pete Carroll, for the second time in his career, has been terminated as the Raiders head coach. And so it's just been a lot of stuff. What's up, Sean? You got Moss. Exactly right. You got Moss. Um, and so to see all these coaching changes, of course, the Atlanta Falcons, even though they beat the New Orleans Saints and actually swept them, and let me put a plug in. So the New Orleans Saints swept the Panthers swept the Falcons, and the Falcons swept the Saints. This has been an very dramatic season in the South, to say the least. Yeah, so the Ravens got rid of him. 18 seasons, 2019 NFL Coach of the Year, Super Bowl ring, 12 appearances in the playoffs over those 18 years. This was one of the first times they missed the postseason in a number of years, and Baltimore parts ways with him. Now, this is the thing. They said 7 teams have called him for head coaching interviews, but there's only 6 vacancies right now. So I'm not sure who that 7th team is, but it looks like there's a team out there that's willing to cough up their coach if Coach Harbaugh decides that he will take that job. Then, of course, you still got to find a coach for the New York Giants. They, of course, released Dayball back before the season even ended. Then you got to look at now the Harbaugh station. The Atlanta Falcons have gotten rid of not only their coach, they got rid of their general manager and a whole bunch of people. They said they're actually going to be bringing Matt Ryan in as a consultant. Go figure. That's some analyst or something with the team. Arthur Blank did not like that Fontenette, their general manager, had gotten Michael Penix. And you guys will see first the fact that they started winning games once Penix went out injured. I mean, they won a couple of games with him, but Kirk Cousins clearly was a difference maker. I mean, you guys paid him all that money and he's back, but those teams are all sitting at home and looking for coaches right now. Let me make sure I got all the coaches before I hop off of here. There were 6. Let's see. I got a whole little video I put out there. Pete Carroll, Harbaugh, and can't even get my little video playing here. Y'all know who they are. And oh yeah, the Cardinals terminated Jonathan Gannon as well. I mean, I don't understand how these teams that are below 500 continue to terminate coaches and expect to ever rebuild. If your team is always switching out coaches or quarterbacks, you are never going to be in rebuild mode. Let's just put like that here. If you want a case and example, look at the Carolina Panthers. First time in 10 years we are in the playoffs, and in 3 years we went through 6 coaches. That was when David Tepper originally took over ownership of the team, and we look like we are just beginning to get our footing. So anyway, on Friday night when I come on with the fellas, we'll be talking about all the postseason drama that has come on now, including probably a little bit of plug about Stephon Diggs' situation. If you don't know about him, he's facing some domestic related events with one of his chefs. And there's some charges pending in Massachusetts. He's scheduled to be arraigned on January 23rd, 2 days before the AFC Championship game. And as you guys know right now, the Patriots and the Broncos are the 2 top contenders for the AFC. Sean Payton taking the Broncos with Bo Nix within 3 years, all the way to the AFC Championship. And it's the first time Denver's been that far since 2015 as well. And as you guys remember, the Panthers played Denver in Super Bowl 50. So this weekend, to recap, in Charlotte, there's going to be a slew of former Carolina Panthers there. Cam Newton has agreed. He is coming back. He will be beating the Keep Pounding drum. The fans ask, they put out all kind of social media tweets, all that kind of stuff, and he is going to come back. Trey Boston, Jonathan Stewart, Luke Kuechly, Greg Olson, whole bunch of people are expected to be in the building. Those tickets are outrageous. I really, really do want to go because I know it's going to be exhilarating, but I don't know yet. So anyway, um, who is this? Somebody said Miami is going to be most likely the team calling for Harbaugh. You know, that's funny you say that because McDaniels was supposedly on the chopping block, but they're saying he is safe for now. And I don't know, coaches will say safe, head, general managers, owners will say safe for players and personnel and what have you. Next thing you know, there is a calling for someone to be released. So let me just plug in real quick to make sure I don't have anything else I need to let you guys know. All right. So looks like as of within the last couple of hours, Atlanta Falcons head coach Raheem Morris has been confirmed for head coach interviews with the Cardinals, the Giants, and the Titans. That's the other person I was trying to tell you guys about. I don't know why the Titans would fire. They just fired Vrabel like a couple of years ago, and I guess look how he's gone to the top. But he's not going to be interviewed for them as well. Let me just make sure I don't have anything going down, guys, as we wrap up here. All right. There's a lot of injuries and recoveries and whatnot that we'll go over on Friday night. And the Cowboys fired their defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus. He's out of a job again. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for tonight. I'm just making sure there's no breaking news before I hop off of here. Well, let's see. I forgot. Kevin Stefanski, y'all, from Cleveland got fired. I need to talk about that real quick. How shocked are you guys that Kevin Stefanski was released from the Browns? And that also had to do with who they were having as far as their quarterback. Y'all know the whole Shador Sanders situation that went down, and then they got Dylan Gabriel in there as well. The only reason why Shador got a chance to start was because Dylan went out with a concussion. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Let me just go ahead and say this here. Last year during the draft and everything, I was a little hard on the whole Sanders situation because I felt like during the draft, Dion and, Shador, Shiloh, all of the whole Sanders clan, they were making like these lives and stuff like that and talking junk when Shador kept slipping through the draft to the next round to whatever. They kept bypassing him to be drafted. And they were, basically talking kind of nasty, saying, we know what this is hate, blah, blah, blah. And I probably wouldn't have said that. If I'm trying to, get the position, I wouldn't have said that. But looking back on the situation and reading up on some things on yesterday. Hey, Nissa, my sister's on here. Thank you so much for joining me, Nissa. You can catch the replay with Jaden Coker's dad on in the next few minutes. I'm so glad to see you tonight. Thank you for joining me. The way they did him, y'all, I really felt bad. I read up on something. They were having Shador actually not even practice with everybody else. He was practicing separately because he was trying to, get someone to throw his reps to. They weren't even allowing him to run any of the plays. They never expected him to be beyond the third string, no matter what happened. Even when situations were warranted where he should have been back up, they brought Joe Flacco in, things like that. And it just was an overshadowing. Now, there's been some rumors out there that this all comes from Stefanski's connection to his grandfather, that back when primetime Dion was playing MLB and NFL, there was an MLB umpire that was talking junk about him. And after one of the post games, he came into the locker room and Dion basically went and got a barrel of water or a Gatorade and just doused him in front of everybody and was like, now talk that, and walked off. And so, it's just one of those things that now that Stefanski is gone, Shador has been named the starting quarterback for the Browns in the next season. And so with that, I guess, everyone finally saw the writing on the wall and they were like, well, we need to go ahead and remove the situation. So once again, guys, power of the quarterback, not that that's what Shador wanted, but that's what that franchise needed overall to kind of wipe the slate clean. Still no word on what they end up doing with Deshaun Watson. He's still dangling out there somewhere attached to a contract, but his days are pretty much a wrap as well. I will tell you guys, if you didn't know, that the Miami Dolphins did fire their general manager, Chris Greer. So no wonder you guys are saying Mike McDaniels may be next, because it's pretty current and common that when a general manager goes, whoever's attached to them usually goes with them, and vice versa. So the Cowboys are looking for a defensive coordinator. They're going to be looking, I guess, whoever's in these postseason games, post championships. Seattle's defensive coordinator is highly sought after. Brian Flores, the Vikings defensive coordinator, they're interested in him. Of course, Raheem Morris, the former head coach of the Falcons. And let's be clear, Raheem has a lot of experience in the league playing, and not playing, but serving in different positions. So don't be surprised if he doesn't get a head coach position. He may get some type of coordinator position with another unit. And let's be clear, he's still getting paid by the Falcons for the next 2 years. These guys are not missing a beat. None of the guys I mentioned that are terminated are going to miss a check for the next 2 years because their monies were guaranteed. And so that's basically what I got for you guys. The fact that we've got a lot of coaching carousels going on. The Thursday or Friday, they are actually going to be trying to talk to Matt Ryan. I talked to you guys a little bit about that earlier. They're going to be talking to him about it's going to be a president of football, whatever title that means. And then to be determined, Brant Tills, the Panthers EVP of football operations, is also supposed to be spoken to. Josh Williams, the 49ers director of scouting and football operations. Of course, they're in the playoffs, so that's both the Panthers and the 49ers. That's going to be after the playoffs or Super Bowl or however far those teams advance. And then the Lions chief operating person, Mike Disner, is also a person of interest for those candidates. Now, for head coach positions, right now, Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins defensive coordinator, is out there. Clint Kubiak, the Seahawks offensive coordinator, his name is circulating out there. Broncos defensive coordinator Vance Joseph, and Kevin Stefanski, now that he's out, former Browns head coach, he's out for another head coaching position. And then they're looking for general managers, even as well as the Bears assistant general manager. His name, Ian Cunningham, is up there for that. So lots of stuff going on, lots of, just a lot. And like everybody's saying, even Tony Dungy was shocked about the Ravens parting ways with Coach Harbaugh. So you just never know what's going to go on. But listen, that's all the time I got for now. Again, thank you so much for Jamal Coker joining me, Jaden Coker's dad. Thank you so much for coming on. And I know Jalen's going to do well this weekend. And thanks to the production team, B. Strella, Pink Fanfur. And with that, we will see you guys on Friday night, 9 p.m. right here live with Friday with the Fellas. I'm Sonja. You guys have a good night for Prim and Proper Sports. We out.